Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, some bad news from the US. Some Target stores are removing Blu-rays and DVDs from their stores. Now, their physical media sections were already pretty small, and now they're basically down to games and vinyl, ironically. So it's kind of disturbing because basically streaming has failed on many levels. It started off good as being just everything online, an online library for people with Netflix and stuff like that. But then all the other streamers came in and made their studios, and now there's too many. You can't have them all, and not everyone is, not all of them is going to get all the views that they're expecting. So people thought they'd have this ongoing, permanent, expanding, money from subscriptions and subscribers coming to them every month, and it's not the case. Whoever's subscribed is subscribed, basically. Some people just come in for events. Some people come in different periods and that. Other people, they just have a regular streaming service and they just sort of just have their standard, and they not really looking at others, and they just don't have this exponential sort of growth of streamers and stuff, and they're just they're cutting down their budgets, they're reassessing everything. And the problem that's really coming out of this, that I didn't really realize was as bad as it is, that's why I'm doing this video, is they really only care about programs that bring in new subscribers. They don't actually care if people watch a show. If people have regular viewers, people watch these shows, their classics, their favourites, they return to them every week, every month, every year, whatever. They don't care unless they're bringing in new subscribers, because that's where they get the new money. They don't count your monthly subscription as profit. It's like they expect that, they're used to that. What they want is new subscribers, and if they don't get that, so they're basically constantly producing new shows, spending money to produce new shows to get new people in, because they don't care about regular people just watching their regular shows. So what's happening is, and what's going to happen is, shows are going to disappear, and it's just going to be the top 5, the top 50, the top 10, whatever the new sort of streaming hit is, that'll be up. And then once it goes out of like a certain number of views, or it stops bringing in subscribers, they're just going to cut it, because it costs them money to keep it on the platform. That's what I didn't realise. If a show's sitting there and no new subscribers are coming in and paying for it, and they don't count the current subscribers who keep their subscriptions to watch these shows, which they don't, which is insane, they view it as costing them money, because it costs them licensing fees to keep it on the platform. It costs them money to actually keep it in the servers and the platform. And if they're not getting new subscriber money for it, they consider it a loss. So they're just cutting all these shows. And I'm like, are you kidding me? These people are insane. What they should be doing is promoting all these old shows. There's like a whole, for these little millennial twats who don't know anything, there's a whole century of cinema and 50 years, 60 years of TV they haven't explored yet. Shows that are great. Shows that even if they're old, they are fascinating in their time. Looking at them in their context and everything is fascinating. They should be promoting stuff like this and selling stuff like this. Like, look at the wacky stuff from the 70s and the cool 80s and the nihilistic, 90s, and, look what we had like a century ago, back when, all these shows are just so out of touch, but are fascinating to look at as a time capsule. But they're not marketing all that stuff that's already existing and popularising these libraries. They're throwing them away and putting themselves in a situation where they have to keep making new content every month. It's like they're idiots. They're just making it worse for themselves. And it's worse for us, because we're going to lose all these shows, and people with physical media libraries, it's not going to happen to them. They'll always be able to pull an old show off the shelf, or watch their annual favourite movie or whatever that they watch at Christmas or whatever, or at a certain time of the year, or just a certain season they feel like this show or that movie. But these new people who just rely on streaming services, some people don't care though, because they're not discerning. They just watch whatever's on, they'll be fine. But the people who actually, have a little bit more taste and so forth, they're going to really struggle, because the problem is the people who can't think for themselves, who don't have any ability to differentiate good and quality and so forth. All they can do is point at what's popular. Oh, that got so many streams. That's number 1 on the top 10. They can point to that with confidence and say, see, that's a hit because there's a number. I can understand that. They don't have to rely, they don't have to have any confidence or security or belief or taste or knowledge of what's good. They can just point at a number and say, see, that's big, that's popular. And that's all the execs do. They just point at the numbers and go, oh, that's bringing in streamers, that's bringing in dollars, that counts, nothing else does. And the people who actually care about cinema and media and entertainment, and care about what shows they watch and have favourites and genres and themes that they like to return to, they're not going to have any options, because all they're going to get is what's in the top 10, what's being made now, what's bringing in the streamers, and it's a dire future. I really don't look forward to it, although myself won't have that problem because I have a physical media collection and I have everything is cost a fortune. I have everything in digital as well. Pretty much everything I care about, I have both formats. So whether I'm adapting, digital files, or whether I'm finding, players for physical media, I will always have my library. But other people who already thrown it away or never had it or never even got to experience something like that are just going to have nothing but, the vacuous top 5 or top 10, and that's it. It's pretty scary.